Hello and welcome into the RotoWire esports show. I am Andrew Laird, joined as always by Ethan Sexton today to talk about Friday's MSI slate. Ethan, we are taping this, let's see, it's 2:37 Eastern. The slate on Thursday has not ended yet. The series that's going on right now, or the game that's going on right now, is the one that you said would pretty much like make or break us. And it turns out it doesn't matter because we're both already dead.
Yeah, that's right. Mad Lions and PSG are playing right now. We talked a little bit yesterday about how you could play either side of that matchup. Although right now, Mad Lions are smashing 7 kills to 1, so it's not looking so good for PSG as an underdog. There was some discussion in the comment section last night about, we could maybe get some leverage from Mad Lions because PSG are probably the highest owned underdog on the slate, which I'm not sure if it worked out that way or not. To be honest, I haven't looked at all the percentages yet. I think Mad Lions and PSG were about the same ownership level, though. And from what it looked like to me from a brief look is that ownership besides RNG was pretty spread out today.
Yeah, it was.
Most of the teams around like 15 to 20%. RNG was 30%, which worked out nicely for people, depending on who you could pair them with. That was always going to be the issue. And then the Damwon fade worked out today. Low scoring affair for them against Cloud9. The RNG one didn't work out as well. But depending on who, you could only play them with so many teams, right? So depending on the rest of your lineup, it looks like right now it's going to be Pain Gaming and RNG that takes everything down. But what are you going to do, man?
So I sent you a message though that like the Pain Gaming and who they play, Istanbul Wildcats.
Yep.
So Pain Gaming were outkilled 22-21 despite winning, and both of those teams had at least as many kills as RNG. So like the game stack didn't necessarily work, but like it was close. Kills wise at least.
And we did say, like, I said still I don't like game stacking, right? But we did say, like, best of ones, sometimes that happens where they're more viable in best of ones because you don't have to worry about anything other than the one game. So even if your team loses with 20 kills or if they win with 20 kills but they don't have as many kills as the team they beat, they can still end up scoring pretty good on best of ones. So, yeah, that game stack almost took things down. I mean, that was a pretty big throw from Istanbul Wildcats. I mean, they were up by a wide margin throughout the early to early mid game of that matchup today, and then Pain Gaming stormed back. So, will we see a lot more games like that? I mean, we could see a couple more, but they're hard to predict, and you never know when they're going to happen. So it's tough. I mean, that game was the one that I think we spent the least amount of time on it, and I didn't have any exposure because I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. And then it ends up being the highest scoring, game on the slate, which, of course it did, but that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, in fairness, I guess the reason why it worked so well is just because the underdog obviously won.
Yep.
But like the number of kills, like they were the team you were going to with RNG. Like they seem like one of the more reasonable underdogs, at least, they were one of the closer underdogs. It's not like we saw a big upset, right? That's what you needed to combine RNG with. But we tried to go without RNG and well, like I said, we're dead.
Yeah. I mean, for a while, like in my contest, RNG and Pain is the top combo right now. And for a while in that Pain Gaming, they didn't look like they were going to work out so well. So you kind of needed a little bit of luck on your side. I mean, what I'm wondering after only one day, so small sample size here after this first slate is, a lot of times when people play LEC, there's two ways to play. You either have to play G2 every slate with an underdog of your choosing that you can fit them in with, or you have to attack G2 every slate and then play, a higher price, play like the underdog that's playing G2, go right after them, and then play, a favorite that you like if you think G2 can lose. So I'm wondering if MSI if it's going to be the case where we either need to play RNG and take a shot on anyone you can fit them in with and hope for an upset, or do we have to go right at RNG because are they just going to end up steamrolling these teams in their group that are not very good. Pentanet especially is not very good. Who they play on tomorrow's slate.
Right.
So it's like, are we going to end up having to play RNG every slate, or if we're not playing them, are we just going to have to go right after them? Is it going to be the case where we can't really be agnostic about them, where we either got to attack them or we got to attack with them and then pray for the best with an underdog that can fit with them? So that's kind of positing after day one here.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I think the benefit at least is, or maybe it's actually more difficult. Like, it's not, if we go after RNG, it still doesn't really make it that easy of a slate, because we're like, you don't really want to go against RNG and then just be like, oh, well, let me just take Damwon because I know they're going to win.
Right.
Because, we just know they have a history of like not scoring that well. And, well, that's it. Like, winner, they tend to win, but they tend to win with not enough fantasy points for us to really get it. So you're kind of like taking the risk of trying to get the winner against RNG, and then you have to find another winner, and it's going to be a favorite that's like not nearly as heavily favored if you're not going to go after Damwon, which I don't know why you would.
Right. It's the problem. Like, Damwon has that 20 kill a game upside. And, tomorrow they're getting one of the easier teams, although, Infinity Esports or Gillette Infinity, I should call since they're sponsored by Gillette.
Right.
They won today. They upset Detonation Focus Me, which was bad for my lineups because I was pretty heavy on Detonation Focus Me. But, in theory, this is probably the easiest matchup of the group for Damwon, although maybe it ends up being Detonation Focus Me. But, like, Damwon today was, they're playing a tougher team, so it was a more competitive game. But Damwon are that kind of team that, like, start slow and then they ramp up in the mid game and then they just dominate you in team fights in the mid and the late game. So, it's like, it's hard to want to play them at these prices sometimes, because are they going to be pushing for 20 kills? It was sort of like that for RNG too, because in China, they weren't always the highest scoring, highest kill per game team, but it could have been just a product of them playing Pentanet today. But guess what? They play Pentanet again tomorrow. So, I think if you're going to go for one of the big favorites on this slate, I think it's got to be RNG again, right? I mean, it's not to say that it'll repeat itself, but we just saw what they did to Pentanet today, and Damwon are a little bit of a slower team. Like, if you use Damwon today, they definitely didn't pay off their salaries. So I think if it's between the two big favorites tomorrow, it's got to be RNG again. Yeah, no,
I totally agree with you on that one. The team that I went right to was Cloud9, and it's only because, like, we were talking yesterday that we thought Cloud9 had we wouldn't have been totally shocked if they had beaten Damwon. Right. And the only reason we thought that was because Cloud9's like actually a good team. Like, they were an underdog this morning, excuse me. Only, I don't want to say only, but like basically because Damwon is one of the teams that happens to be better than them. But like, it seems like Cloud9 should be a team that we could target at least as a favorite, which they are on this slate. And so I kind of like went there at first, and then I'm like, every time you make a lineup, you're just like, am I just going to get steamrolled by RNG and some sort of underdog? Like, that's the worst part, is that like you still need an underdog with Cloud9. Yep. And so like you're basically playing, like, even if you get the underdog right, you're possibly just getting blown away by RNG. It's a Cloud9 RNG head-to-head basically at that point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I do like Cloud9 as well, on tomorrow's slate, because, I said yesterday Detonation Focus Me maybe could make some noise and cause some stirs, but they really didn't look too good today. I mean, it's only one game, so I don't want to be too down on them. But the problem is, like, we talked about Arya a little bit yesterday. He's supposed to be the big stud of this team, and, has a lot of hype coming into this tournament. And he looked awful, and now – and that was in the easiest matchup in the group, right? Like, now he's got to face Perks and Showmaker the next 2 days. Good luck with that, buddy. In theory, those are going to be really difficult matchups for him. Yeah. So I like Cloud9 a lot on this slate, but to your point, it's like, okay, I can play Cloud9, And, when I built my first lineup, I went right to Cloud9 as well. I was like, I'm going to play Cloud9. And you can play, you can play like a Cloud9 and a Mad Lions together, which is a pretty good combo. I think that they're both favored. Mad Lions is kicking butt right now, 12-4 as I look over against PSG. They're looking pretty good. But so it's just like this, what we talked about yesterday, like with the two big favorites, you get the safety, right? With Damon and RNG. Well, RNG also gave you the ceiling today, right? So to your point, that's the toughest part of this, right? Like, can C9 match RNG in kills? They can. But like if salary wasn't playing into this, you'd go with RNG every time, right?
Right.
So that's the tough thing to figure out. Like, you can build with either a better underdog or even a lower priced favorite with a Cloud9. So it makes your overall lineup feel a lot more competitive. Whereas if you're going with RNG and an underdog, you're going to need a little bit of luck on your side again, like you got today. So it really depends on how people want to go into the slate. I think RNG, safest team. We just saw them crush today. They've got that ceiling, but you are going to need an upset from a Detonation Focus Me or Istanbul Wildcats or Pain Gaming or something like that to make an RNG lineup pay off. Whereas with Cloud9, you can get two favorites in there and maybe feel a little bit better about your lineup. I do think that Cloud9 and Mad Lions have upside, especially if Mad Lions are going to play at this fast pace that they're playing at so far today.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think there's an underdog, like an obvious underdog?
Not really. I mean, so based on these two games, it's probably Pain Gaming again. Just because I don't know though. Like, I don't feel that strongly about any of the underdogs. I think, I don't think Infinity Esports and Pentanet aren't even on the slate, so they're just gone, right? So then you get Detonation Focus Me, Istanbul Wildcats, and Pain Gaming. And, the odds reflect that Pain Gaming, as we see on the screen, Pain Gaming and PSG is the closest game tomorrow. And you might end up seeing, Pain Gaming end up being pretty popular because of one-day bias where Pain Gaming won and they got 20 kills. So sure, they got outpaced in kills, even though they won, but they still got the 20 kills. And then, PSG are currently getting stomped. So I wonder
if they finish up getting stomped.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, do we get a little bit of bias from the first day there, and Pain Gaming are going to be the highest owned underdog? I think that's pretty likely, right? Istanbul Wildcats also scored over 20 kills, but they lost. The problem there is, are they good enough to beat Mad Lions? I could definitely see Istanbul Wildcats causing an upset. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. I just don't feel that great about it. And same thing for Detonation Focus Me. Like, if Detonation Focus Me had played better today, if they won, I'd be a little more open to them having a better chance to beat Cloud9. But just based on the way they played today, I'm not really too excited about going that route now.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting at least that the underdogs are bigger underdogs on this slate than they were on today's. Like, we had three underdogs at 42% or above. And obviously, what do we see? 31% for PNG for tomorrow's slate. So like, it's not like the matchups are as close as they were today, at least, odds wise.
Right.
I think you're at that point, you're kind of like, you're trying to sell yourself on longer shot underdogs. But I wouldn't be surprised. I updated these odds a few hours ago. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if PNG move up just because of if PSG getting stomped tonight.
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, if, these odds were obviously made before the slate was done. And, I'm assuming that they're going to, that series in particular, PSG Pain Gaming will be even closer. Now the salaries on DraftKings won't change, right? So we can take a little bit of advantage of that. But I think the betting odds that series might come a little bit closer together when it's all said and done, probably. So something interesting, I guess, because I think based on today's games, Pain Gaming RNG is going to be insanely high owned tomorrow. Just because, Pain Gaming won and RNG smashed, and RNG get the same matchup on the slate tomorrow. So I'm wondering if PSG offers us a good leverage spot tomorrow, because I do, despite them getting destroyed by Mad Lions right now, I do still think they're a pretty decent team overall. And someone in the comments yesterday did mention, I meant to bring this up on the show yesterday and I forgot, but PSG are playing with a substitute bottom laner, so maybe that's going to have more of an effect on them than I thought coming into the tournament. But I'm wondering, can we get some decent leverage with PSG tomorrow? You're not going to be able to play them with Damwon and RNG, but I think I haven't tried it yet, to be honest, but I think you can probably play them with Cloud9 and Mad Lions. So, they're getting smashed right now, so I think they're going to be low owned because they're getting absolutely destroyed and because Pain Gaming won yesterday. So I'm wondering, PSG might be a nice little leverage spot tomorrow.
I think that's a great call. The obviously if you do that, you're also making the non RNG lineup. Like you're putting yourself in that situation anyway. But but you're kind of right. Like if PSG pulls it out tomorrow, then it doesn't matter what the RNG side of those lineups have. Like they're probably dead.
Right. And I just think I think people are going to be all over Pain Gaming. They looked really bad at the start of the game. And PSG are this is coming from their domestic stats, but I think PSG are the best early game team in the tournament. Now it doesn't translate completely because that's based on their domestic league stats, of course. But if PSG get off to a hot start and Pain Gaming get off to an awful start again, maybe PSG can see it out better than Istanbul Wildcats did today. So I do like that as a leverage spot. If you go there, you can't have RNG, but it feels like to me that everybody and their mother is going to have RNG and Pain Gaming tomorrow because you can do it and because it offers good upside. Like, I don't think that's a bad lineup, but if you want to go a different direction and get off the chalk, I think maybe PSG and one of these other favorites is a decent way to do it.
I think PSG getting stomped right now, trying to pull up, I guess they're lower, but Mad Lions were still firmly favored in that one. So it's not like PSG losing is some sort of surprising result. They're not playing any worse than we expected. This is actually what was expected. And so now it's kind of the opposite of Cloud9. We figured they were going to lose today and they're going to be big favorite tomorrow. And it's kind of just the flip with PSG of they were underdogs today, they're losing, and they're going to be, I guess it's the same thing. Excuse me. It's the exact same. They were underdogs today and they're losing, and tomorrow they're going to be favored. But no, I think you're absolutely right on that combo is going to be really popular. Yeah, for sure. So can't hate on people for going there, but if you don't want to tie 9 million ways, then maybe go a different direction. Yeah. It's just really, it's really dependent on how people want to play tomorrow. Right. Is where you're going to end up going. But yeah, RNG Pain's looking likely to be the chalk. So PSG just got smashed. They just finished up their game and lost. But I do think that they're better than what they showed today. Yeah. All right. Perfect. No, that's nothing like the live commentary to finish off the slate for tomorrow. That'll help. All right. Cool. Yep. If you guys have enjoyed the video, if you could please hit the like button below, feel free to subscribe for all the RotoWire videos. You can also hit that bell to get notified for every time a new video hits. We've been doing a bunch of live stuff as well, not for esports yet, but for other sports if you're interested. So feel free to check those out. If you are interested in a RotoWire subscription, just go to rotowire.com/try. That's TRY. Gets you 10 free days to the site, access to all of our sports, as well as our subscriber Discord chat. Definitely worth trying out. With no credit card required. So go for it. Ethan, thank you for that, and good luck on Friday. All right, same to you. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Try RotoWire today, free for 10 days. Get our premium tools, rankings, analysis, and breaking news alerts. No credit card required. Go to rotowire.com/try.